Most people recognize this as the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, but it's a lot more than that. Why don't you tell me about your car?
Well, it's been a kind of a dream car for me. I saw the movie Smokey and the Bandit when I was 8 years old. That was a long time ago, and my allowance at the time didn't allow me to buy a brand new 77 Trans Am like everybody was doing back then. So it took me better part of about 20 years to try to find the one that I wanted, and I found this one through a shop, Dave Hall at RestoreMuscleCar.com. He found this car in Phoenix, Arizona. It was sitting up for about 20 years. Had at the time about 48,000 original miles on it, and since then it's only had about another 10 put on it. So it's a 58,000 mile original car, but it's all been put back to stock. I'm a big believer in having it look the way it looked when it came off the showroom floor, but obviously they didn't do quite as good a job back then on the paint and things like that, so we made some extra attention to that. But we love it, and it's kind of like having your dream car finally and forever.
Right. Well, this is a low number car. How many did they make of this car?
This right here with the tan interior and the 4-speed transmission is one of about 2,700 cars that was made with those options, and it's got the original Pontiac 400 engine in it, and it'll get up and go. I mean, I still actually drive it. It's that I try to make it look nice, but it's also a driver too. So it.
Well, you can tell you drive it. It's got you got some display items on here, and you've won a lot of shows, I can hear.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We actually did a really big event back in May, an event that I helped organize called the Bandit Run, and about 100 of us if you can imagine this, in our Bandit Trans Ams got together. We met in Texarkana, Texas, and over 3 days we retraced the route they took in the Smokey and the Bandit movie to Atlanta, and we ended up in Atlanta at the Year One experience where they welcomed us as guests of honor for their big unveiling of their new Bandit Trans Am that they were unveiling at that point. So,
well, that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like something live car shows would like to cover someday. So if you ever do that again, you let us know. That must have been quite a sight.
Well, they asked me that one of the national shows asked me when I was in Atlanta, are you ever going to do this again? And I said, well, you know what? Just like they said in the movie, we might have to run up to Boston and get some clam chowder for '08. So
that'd be great. Well, you keep us posted. Thank you for telling us about your car. It's a great example of a Trans Am.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. 396, one of my favorite engines in a car, and this Camaro SS is a great example of a 396 car. Convertible, it's got the orange paint, it's an L34, really, really nice. Now, most people think, the high performance stopped in 1969, but over here's a 71 Z28, and once again, these are the kind of cars that's kind of an original condition that the people come out to the show, they take notes, so when they're restoring their car, they can get it to factory correctness. This is a really nice Z28 coupe. Boy, these two Vipers are drawing a crowd. Every time we see a Viper at a car show, it gets the enthusiasts checking them out. I mean, you can't beat the Viper for speed, performance, and styling. Really nice pair of Vipers here, red and black. The red one looks like it's owned by a veteran of the Vietnam War out here at the car show this Sunday. Really nice. '69 GS 400. You don't see them in this condition very much. This is Dick's car. Dick, tell me about your car.
Well, basically, I've had it about 7 years. When I got it, it was fairly decent condition, but the paint was had to be rubbed out and finished off. The engine compartment was not as it should be, so I basically restored it back to 100% original.
How hard are those components to find under that hood?
Really difficult, especially for a Grand Sport. They don't reproduce any of these, and so to find these parts is excruciating, painful. It's taken me a long time.
Well, that's the thing we always appreciate, the people that restore their cars, because people don't understand when it's not a 55 Chevy or something like that, you got to either repair the parts or find new ones somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. And then in order to do it right, I've got the original factory assembly manual, so you have to go into the factory assembly manual to find out the type of part, the color of it, the tags that go on it. I mean, everything on this car has been built according to the factory assembly manual.
Wow, well, you were telling me it's a concourse condition, and I can see that from just looking over it here. You take it out to shows all the time?
I've been to about 3 shows this year. I don't go to a lot of shows. And
thank you for bringing it out here today. We don't see these on live car shows very often. Appreciate you talking to us, Dick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice car. This is a row of horsepower, I got to tell you that. 1968 Camaro with a big block stuffed under the hood, high-rise crossover manifold. Really nice looking engine. Z28, got the build sticker, 350 horse, high-rise crossover manifold, Edelbrock performance. This one here, beautiful paint job. Ghost flames, matching interior engine on the paint job, got the flames on the valve covers. Another big block engine. Right here, a little Nova with a high-rise Edelbrock double pumper manifold. Really nice row of high horsepower modified cars. This is one of those cars when you pull up at a light, looks like a nice stock SS. It's got the original interior, original paint, cowl induction hood, but let me tell you, you better not challenge this one to a race because underneath is a built 454. It's got Mickey Thompson components, stainless steel lines, headers, MSD ignition. This baby is a screamer, but right next to it, we got a car here. This is Jim's car. Jim, want to come over and talk to me? You know, I said this car's built for the strip, but Jim tells me, no, this is just a regular old grocery getter. Jim, tell me about your car.
It's just a little 69 Camaro Pro Street drag race, if you want to call it. It's licensed and registered and insured for the street, so might as well drive it a little bit and have some fun with it. Made 636 to the tire on pump gas, so it's a little on the overkill side, but yeah, what the hell.
But that's what we're out here today, building cars for fun.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, is having fun with it. You can't drive it. What's the use of having it?
Well, how long have you had this car?
I've had it for about 3 years, finished it probably about almost a year ago, roughly. Not quite that, but it took about 3 months to finish it once I actually started working on it. So,
well, what kind of components do you have under the hood here?
it's got a Vortec blown 406 Chevy, intercooled, fast fuel injection on it. It's got I'm sorry.
Modified suspension?
It's got a whole 2x3 chassis under it with a Mustang 2 type front suspension, Willwood brakes, Mickey Thompson rims and tires.
Well, you've done a really nice job on this car, and you know it's been attracting a crew all day long, Jim. I appreciate you talking to us on Live Car Shows. You bet. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
You're looking at a really highly detailed, correct engine compartment on this 69 Dodge Charger. This is Phil's girlfriend's car, but he's really responsible for making it as correct as it is. Phil, tell me about your car and how you make it so correct.
Well, it's a matching numbered 69, Charger. Basically, it takes lots of research. I've actually got all the markings and things off of an original 69 unmolested car, and I just basically went out, made stamps, and put them all back together.
Well, you did this all yourself.
All this was done. It was painted in the backyard, and the restoration was finished up in the front yard.
You know, that's a great story. That's what we love most about Live Car Shows, is meeting people that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and work on their own cars. And you wouldn't know this was a backyard restored car. Like I say, it's factory correct, factory period perfect. It's just, you've done a wonderful job.
Well, it's not perfect, but it's one heck of a driver.
It is. So you get out to shows often?
Oh, yeah. We just came back from a Mopar show down in Huntington Beach, took a first and second place with 2 others.
Well, I can see how that can happen. Well, Phil, thank you for telling us the details in your car. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. This is one of those clubs here in this row right here. It's a GTO club, a whole line of 2,000 GTOs. Well, the crowd's really picking up here at the 22nd Annual Westlake Village Car Show. And every time we see this 64 Savoy Max Wedge, we got to stop and take a closer look. One of the neatest things about this car is, of course, the split engine manifold and the headers, the factory cast iron headers. The hardest part on this car to find is those headers. But this is a very good example of a 64 Savoy. You're looking at a restored to original 76,000 mile 1970 Dodge Challenger. Now this one's the Rare RT SE package, which makes it even rarer than a regular Challenger RT. Great color. I love the green. It's got the two-tone interior with the tweed insets in the seat, the vinyl top, the 386 Magnum engine underneath the hood. Got the correct battery, all the correct hoses, all the correct markings. Once again, restored to original. The owner of this car did a gorgeous job bringing it back to factory original condition. Nice RT.